Hi, Keira.
Hello.
All right, let's talk about the tension in this film.
Yeah.
It is, I can't even describe like the angst it gives me. Even like there's like sexual tension, there's personal tension.
I know. I mean, all of it. It's just it's very tense, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Yeah. Does that sell it? I'm not sure that sells it. Go and watch this film. You'll be really tense all the way through. Yes, no, there's a lot. There's all of that. Sexual tension, racial tension, you know? Germans and English just after the Second World War having tried to kill each other for the last 6 years and suddenly living under the same roof. You know, there's a lot of tension in that. And yeah, it was very tense.
But like what? Like there's even one part where like so you're sitting there and then he like brushes your shoulder and it's like
Yeah.
like how do you convey that? Like in your face you were just like
I was clearly just tense the entire time.
I mean, right.
Yeah, I got a really bad crick in my neck, but you know, I had to have a couple of massages afterwards. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just thought that. I thought, as a story, it was a really interesting thing because I'd never seen a film set in this period, you know, or rather, you've seen lots of films set in the 1940s, but it's very much dealing with the war. It's not dealing with the aftermath of the war, how you rebuild after that, how, you know, as much as obviously there was a winning side and a losing side, on a personal level, there kind of aren't any winners, you know, everybody sort of lost something immense. So it was kind of, I thought it was really interesting things to grapple with. How do you get beyond that? You know, how do you rebuild your life after you've had such great loss? How do you suddenly see somebody that you've been brought up thinking is your enemy, or at least for the last 6 years, very literally killing each other? How do you suddenly see them as a human being again? You know, and then literally how do you rebuild cities, countries that have been utterly destroyed? So I think I was interested because it sort of deals with all of that, and I thought that's, particularly now, I think that's a very interesting kind of thing to think about.
Okay, in your own life, how does Keira Knightley deal with awkward situations? Do you break the ice or do you just let it play out?
I'm a very bad giggler. I giggle a lot in really awkward situations. Which isn't necessarily the best thing to do, but that kind of awkwardness makes me laugh in a really hysterical, awful way. So I think I go for that, or I just try and hide. Just quite, you know, either one I find works.
There's a scene where kind of Jason's character puts 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Are you good at putting 2 and 2 together?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'd hope so.
Or you just laugh?
What if I realised that what was going on in this film was going on? I don't think I'd laugh.
No.
No. Am I good at putting 2 and 2 together? No, probably not.
Okay.
I think most people don't see what's going on right in front of them, do they?
That's true.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know it's like we're doing this.
We're definitely here.
We're here,
in this room, right?
This is London, right?
Okay, then I can put that 2 and 2 together, so I'm fine.
Okay, now I have to ask about when you film these love scenes. Just explain, like, is there like Jim, the rig guys up there? Like,
yeah.
That can never get normal.
No.
So how do you
do it?
Yeah.
I go very school mommy. I'm very specific. I'm like, exactly what do you want? Exactly, you know, what beat? It has to go like, right, kiss there, do that. And I'm very much like, are we done? Have you got it? Okay. I go very, very, very straight.
That's amazing.
It's basically the least sexy thing that you could possibly do is the way that I kind of do it and get through it.
Okay, that's
also with this one I had a body double. So.
That wasn't you?
It wasn't me, but didn't she look amazing?
Oh my god!
It was like an avatar. I was like, oh my god, I wish that I had that body, but I don't. But I'm super glad that in this film I do.
Well, you looked amazing.
I know, didn't I? I know.
Oh my god! I can't in your own life, how do you deal with awkward situations? Do you break the ice or do you let it play out?
I try to deal with it. I don't know if I always succeed, but I find that helpful. To kind of grab the bull by the horns.
There's a scene in the film where kind of Jason's character puts 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Are you good at putting 2 and 2 together? Like if there's, you know, some kind of weird things happening, are you like...
No. When it comes to socially reading situations like that, no, I'm terrible. I'm the last one to figure stuff out. If there's like, I'm always the last one to find out.
So I was just asking Keira, obviously there's a lot of like physical scenes in this. Is that weird? Does that ever get normal when you've got to film those kinds of scenes? Or what is that experience like?
No, it's not weird. it has such a beautiful build-up in the story to these scenes. So I think it's exciting. You're like, this is the payoff. Like you have the most interesting part, in my opinion, is the build-up, because that's where the tension is. Once you're actually in bed, especially when I watch movies, I find that often less interesting than the build-up, because that's the kind of the chess game, isn't it? Like that play. But shooting those scenes, no, it looks very romantic and beautiful when you watch it, but they're very technical to shoot and not super romantic to shoot, actually.
Okay, what can you tell me about Big Little Lies season 2? Because I know that you're in it. I know you're in it. Now you're looking at me.
Well, you stated that question as an answer, as that answer as a question.
I was waiting for you to tell.
I know you're in it.
What?
I can't say anything.
Nothing?
No.
So what about, why is the secrecy, like, or what, in your opinion, kind of when we have these kinds of shows that become so huge, why is everything so secret, I guess?
Well, because of the ending, how it ended, like the demise of my character, kind of, it makes it a bit tricky to talk about. There is, I can say that I read all the episodes. They're incredible, and Meryl Streep plays my mother, which is pretty cool. And I think people will enjoy how she kind of interjects herself into that little world, that society. It's a cool story.
I'm so excited. And this movie was awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
I love this movie.
Thank you so much.
I've been like texting.
You know,
why are we drawn to forbidden love?
I guess it's human. I mean, on a basic level, that there's always other paths we could have trodden that we didn't, and we make choices, and you can't go down every path or have everything. So it's always there. It's always enticing. It's always and at the end of great, in the aftermath of great tragedy, and World War II was one of the biggest, just messes that the world found itself in. That these people are picking themselves up with what they truly want after they've lost and given so much. And I think that's where the tension and the honesty lies. For me, when I read it, and for Lewis as a character, like this man understands through great pain and loss that he truly loves this woman, and that he's not going to hold her and keep her in or restrict her if that's what she needs to do. And I mean, I won't spoil it, but even though he's full of anger and 5 years of war, and now he's trying to put together a country which is just eating itself, and everyone hates anyway, and he's got to try and feed these people because they are people. He learns something about himself and what it is to be human.
There's a scene in the film where your character kind of puts 2 and 2 together.
More than 2 and 2, I'll tell you.
So, in your own life,
Hang on,
it was great because you get this look in your eyes, and it was like watching it as a viewer. I was like, that's how I would feel, because he's like, wait a minute. Yeah. So in your own life, are you good at putting 2 and 2 together in kind of situations? Not like that, but are you good at figuring?
I would say yes and no. I mean, I would like to think that I'm observant as an actor. I'm watching people, and I think I'm good at just. I have maybe an emotional intelligence of reading a situation, but then you're also like Lewis. I'm an optimist. You never want to think that I don't remember bad things that much. I remember good things, and you just like, even though you can see it, you can't believe it, or you don't want to believe it. I don't want to see that horror. I don't want to look at that train crash. I don't want to consider that. Yeah. So
then I guess
you're gonna pin me down even more, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing the lean in. How do you deal with, because there's a lot of like awkward kind of moments in this. How do you deal with awkward moments? Do you kind of break the ice? Do you say something, or you just kind of sit back and let it play out?
The older I got, the better I am at letting things play out. You want to see the truth of the matter before you make a course of action. I think someone like Lewis has seen so many awkward moments, has been in so many, he's a guy that was at the front line of a lot of things, and now he's at the front line of putting Germany back together when the whole world hates it. And Germany itself, regardless of everything else that happened, suffered immensely, and the people suffered immensely. The bombings, the revenge. There's a great book by Anthony Beevor on Berlin, the fall of Berlin. I mean, they got paid back in spades. They did abhorrent things, but they got paid back. You know, there's just this world. There's that scene at the dinner table where they're all remember they're talking. You know, and it says, you know, the war is over. We won it. You know, what else is there? We've now got to. You know, I think it's very easy to forget. You know, that people put Europe back together, and that's what I loved about Lewis in this film. That, you know, through the larger picture of the world, this smashed egg which was just disintegrated, and this smashed relationship and hearts and love that was just, you know, I mean, trodden on. And then, you know, even in the real time, she meets somebody else and she falls in love. And you know what? You can't blame her. That people found the strength and the courage and the moral conviction to put it back together, to find ourselves where we are right now. You know what I mean? As, you know, as England goes through what it's going through, but Europe was put back together after, you know, neighbours had just done despicable things to each other.
Thank you so much. I love the movie.
Thank you so
Love
much.
the
Yeah,
movie.
so
That was
nice.
awesome. Thank